Ian.
Jean, thank you very much. Of course, Orwell had got one other thing in common with me, that his name was Blair. He had the sense to change it, I think. My book, and I think but all of us will probably concentrate in this area, is a memoir, but it's a memoir wrapped in a history. And I want to talk tonight about the history of policing and the future of policing, because I think they're linked. And I'm also going to tell you at the end who Jack the Ripper actually was. And I am going to tell you that. At an earlier talk that I gave just after Christmas, I was asked to speak at the Reform Club with the title, "How do we take politics out of policing?" And I began by saying this could be the shortest speech of all time, because the answer is you can't. Policing is a touchstone political issue. If one just thinks about it for a moment, it is the agency within any state that is officially empowered to use force against its own citizens. That's a very powerful agency, and every state endeavours to control it in different ways. Secondly, like the absence of the rule of law, the absence of a properly functioning police service is the emblem of a failed state, and we know a number of those across the world. And lastly, any police force that serves one political party only, or one individual, is indicative of a dictatorship. It is a very important service. It was born in political controversy, and in my view is now returning to it. It's just worth having just a moment or two of the history. Founded in 1829, the Metropolitan Police had been the subject of about 40 years of impassioned debate between the Whigs and the Tories. Everybody, I think, will be aware that it was founded by Robert Peel, the Tory Home Secretary. What few people remember is that only 18 months after it had been created, the Tory government of Peel fell, and the two twin commissioners, as they were then, were faced with a problem even more acute than that which has ever faced any of their successors, which was a new Home Secretary, Viscount Melbourne, who actually didn't want a police force at all. And he then engaged in a practice of trying to undermine the police without actually threatening to abolish them. And this came to a head in 1833. And I'm not going to go on 2 years by 2 years for the next 150, in a riot at a place called Coalbath Fields, which is now the site of Mount Pleasant sorting office. And a police officer was killed in the riot, and there was a parliamentary inquiry. And the commissioners appeared in front of the inquiry, and they explained that Melbourne had ordered them, against their better judgment, to intervene in the demonstration, and it had turned into a riot. Melbourne appeared in front of his own companion MPs and said that he had never issued such orders, and the committee of MPs believed the commissioners. And from that moment on began a doctrine which has been terribly important in British policing about the operational independence of the police. Slowly the police drew away from political control, and it came to a famous definition by Lord Denning in 1968, so it has taken quite a while, and he said about this that the chief officer of police is not the servant of anyone save of the law itself. No minister of the crown can tell him that he must or must not keep observation on this place or that, or that he must or must not prosecute this man or that one, nor can any police authority tell him so. The responsibility for law enforcement lies on him. He is answerable to the law and to the law alone. That is the definition of operational independence, which subsequently trenchantly criticised as a judgment. Lawrence Lustgarten, who's a well-known criminologist, said of it that seldom have so many errors of law and logic been compressed into one paragraph.